Now, what's up, everybody? Now, you know what time it is again, of course. It's time for another review, and today I'll be reviewing the movie Moonfall. Now, who told Hopper to make this movie? Now, this is written and directed by Roland Emmerich. You know him from his work of Independence Day, 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, and now Moonfall. And I have to say, it also was written by him as well, and also by a screenwriter by the name of Harold Closer. And I have to say, his work has peaked since Independence Day. This movie had so much potential and so much promise. I actually mildly like this film. What worked about this film is that they introduced a very high fantastical concept of different life forms and ancestral, and calling it ancestors in different that lived in different times, millions and billions of years before we existed on Earth in the film, and them advancing in a far great phenomenal way as far as technology, and that technology imploding on themselves. Now that is what I liked about this film. I like this cast. It stars Holly Berry, who's always great and everything, Patrick Wilson, who's great as well, Michael Pena, and Donald Sutherland. Now, they don't really use Donald Sutherland and also Michael Pena very effectively. They're just there, secondary characters to Holly Berry and Patrick Wilson's primary character. They're not really used, and these are really good actors who are really entertaining in their own right. So they're not used effectively. So going back to what I do like about this film, I like this whole concept of ancestors and calling them ancestors in a different galaxy at a different time that lived billions and millions of years before we lived on Earth here. And I like some of the technology that they use to actually visually enrich the actual story. And then that's it. The execution of the film, the whole concept of the moon going out of orbit and heading towards Earth, the execution was poor. Now, these films with these natural disasters and hypothetical films, because that's what they are, hypothetically what would happen, in an exaggerated, exacerbated way of what would actually happen in these situations. But they're good and they're really interesting to read as far as the synopsis. It's just the execution needs help. Like I said, Roland Emmerich peaked with Independence Day. Independence Day, I could put this movie on right now, and it's so entertaining. It grabs you. And watching behind the scenes of how that movie was filmed, they used visual effects that still hold up today because they took their time to actually develop a great film. I don't know if it was because it was his first film and he wanted to knock it out the park, but maybe it is because this is like his fourth film, and I have to say it falls flat like the rest of them. And I know it's like these are high concept films and hypothetical films and high extreme exaggerated science fiction. But like I said in all my videos, all stories are worth telling. They're just worth telling well. This film had a lot of promise and potential, and I could see potential sequels if this was knocked out of the park. But it wasn't. Some of the visual effects was impaired. It was really cheap looking, particularly with the action sequences on Earth. Now I know this is a film, but some of the characters doing dumb stuff, which is plain and simple dumb, whether it's real life or in film, common sense is common sense. If you see some natural disaster coming up, you're not going to be standing there like, oh my God, let's see where this goes. No, you're going to move the hell out the way. You're going to run. There was one sequence where Halle Berry's love interest, X, her character's X, is standing there. He's getting ready. He has the fate of the world in his hands, and he's stopping, and he's the only one with the gun when he's all around these government affiliates, including the president. Are you serious? He knows nothing that's going on in outer space, but he's stopping the world from potentially being destroyed, or just potentially being destroyed because he doesn't know what's going on, or because his ex-wife's there, who he doesn't even get along with, and doesn't even see his son with, because they have a son together in the film. Now, this film, had it been knocked out of the park, could have been other sequels and also a great series on HBO Max, because HBO Max has excellent service, excellent content. I recommend purchasing it. But it wasn't knocked out of the park. Just because this is a high concept like a King Kong versus Godzilla, just because these are high fantasy concepts does not mean it can't be executed well. It's never the actors, it's always the screenplay that needs a bunch of help. This film had a lot of potential, a lot of promise, and I hate that it didn't deliver on that. some of the stuff is really goofy, and some of the stuff that's being said in there is really goofy as well, as far as the execution of the lines. And like I said, the visual effects. With that said, I give this film a C-. So please subscribe to my page if you like what you see, because I will be uploading at least one review a week.